Alright. I'm watching the true story of WrestleMania. I'm a huge wrestling fan. I love the WWE. Um, I used to watch WCW to an extent, and I was never a huge fan of WCW. I was a WWE loyalist. Um, but watching the history of WrestleMania, one, it really it always shows how much I love wrestling because I can watch this thing a million times. I'm watching Randy Macho Man Savage versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, WrestleMania 3 for the Intercontinental title, and I get goosebumps. Like, I watch it, and I know people say all the time, oh, wrestling's fake, it's fixed, predetermined, whatever. Wrestling is and always has been entertainment. I still consider it to an extent sport. I do. It's sports entertainment. These men are very athletic, and women, the divas, very athletic. It takes a lot out of you. It's not something that anybody can do. Um, Watching this, I've seen a lot of like football players and LT, for example, taking part in WrestleMania 11, actually competing in a match against Bam Bam Bigelow. Fast forward, WrestleMania 27, I think it was, Floyd Mayweather versus The Big Show. These guys can't do it every day. Those guys, they get in the ring and they're wrecked at the end of it, and I think they really kind of get a new appreciation for what the wrestlers do. The point of this video, though. I'm watching Savage versus Steamboat WrestleMania 3, and Gorilla Monsoon said one of the best things that it's not even said anymore by the commentators. Macho Man wasn't a closet champion. What he meant by that is he was champion for 14 to 15 months before he eventually lost the title to Ricky Steamboat at WrestleMania 3. And what's interesting about that, 14, 15 months as champion, you see the tag champion now, Tonga and McGillicuddy, they've had the belts for, a few months, and I laugh at it. They just lost it recently to Kingston and Evan Bourne. I laugh at the champions nowadays. World champions, Intercontinental champions, tag champions. To me, they're hilarious. John Cena's, and I don't know, I'm about to cross a line here. Cena fans unite. They always do. I can't stand John Cena, not for any other reason except that he won the title, 8 years ago? WrestleMania 21? Yeah. WrestleMania 21 against JBL, he won the title. What year was that? 05. 6 or 7 or 8 or 9, 10, 11. 6 years. He's been... Wow, you gotta be shitting me. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 6 years. In 6 years, he's won the title 11 times. Or 13, 12 times, something, I don't know, 11, 12 times, I lost count. I know Edge was an 11-time champion in about the same time span. Love Edge, can't stand Cena. And I'm going to explain why. I don't, bring it back, WrestleMania 3. Savage, 15 months. And he defended that title almost all the time. The championship was always on the line. That's how it seemed, whether it was or not. He was always defending it, is the point. It's not like he defended the belt once a month or once every 6 weeks. That's what's happened. John Cena, 11-time champion, if he has a title run that lasts 4 months, he probably defended that title 4 times. Probably. That's stretching it. And this is what I have a problem with nowadays with the WWE and with championships is the champions are like bullshit. And I think a lot of the importance of the championships has been taken away. To me, the point of the main event is for it to be for a championship. There's a lot of storylines, a lot of rivalries, a lot of backstories, and it makes things interesting. It gives a lot more to the matches. It gives a lot more to the show, and it's something you cannot take away. But what they've done, at least I feel, is take the importance away from the championship. John Cena's last match, his last pay-per-view match against CM Punk at SummerSlam, I watched it. I loved it. And I was the first one blowing up Facebook saying how, John Cena had probably his best match. Him and CM Punk, they tore the house down. Not taking anything away from it, the rest of the night. Christian and Orton, I think that was one of the best matches also that I've seen in a long time. SummerSlam in general was a great pay-per-view. But what I have a problem with, you had this big thing, the Undisputed Championship. I actually didn't get upset when Del Rio came in and won the belt after CM Punk, his triumphant win over John Cena. You kind of got like the wrestling purists in Punk against, whatever John Cena is, that like that Hulk Hogan figure or whatever. But I don't like the fact that Cena will defend a title 2 or 3 times and then lose it, demand his rematch, go for his rematch clause, get it, win the belt again, and it's just like this cycle. And I'm going to be fair. I can't say it's all Cena. I can't. Maybe it's a lot to do with what's going on behind the scenes. I really think creatively, whoever is writing everything, obviously Vince McMahon has to put his stamp of approval on everything. But I take nothing away from McMahon. He's a freaking genius. But I don't understand for the life of me why championships are changed, so often. They're passed along more than a $2 whore. Okay? And I think it takes away from the importance of the championship. It takes away from just the importance of the main event. You're watching. You can't even call anybody nowadays a true champion, and that sucks because I mentioned Edge. Edge, a few of his losses have been due to injury. His last, title run ended with an injury. His career ended with an injury. But I look at guys like Randy Orton. I look at Christian. Christian and Orton, I said it. They tore the house down with their no holds barred match at SummerSlam. These guys, I think, have a great chemistry. I have loved their matches thus far. I was one of those complaining about how quickly Christian lost the title. If he was to lose the championship as quickly as he did again to Orton, I don't see why they even put the belt on him. I don't see the point of putting the belt on a person for him to lose it, in a month, and he's only defended the belt that one time. You win the belt, you defend it once, and lose it. So you're not even defending it. You're a paper champion. And then you got Del Rio now. When's the next time he's defending the belt? In 6 weeks at Night of Champions. He defended against Mysterio. Mysterio's out with an injury again. Okay, so Mysterio's going on vacation. Great. Have Del Rio defend the belt again. Have him defend it. If you're not going to have him defend it against CM Punk and John Cena, don't do that. Don't defend it against Cena yet. Defend it against Cena at Night of Champions. He's the number 1 contender. You have this thing going on now with Nash and Punk. Great. Have Del Rio defend the belt. Give him some wins along the way. Let him defend the belt against John Morrison that night on Raw. Oh, Del Rio doesn't. He has a match against John Morrison. Okay, put the belt on the line. Put the belt on the line. And I'm saying that because Del Rio's gonna win. But what you're doing is, to fans from the show standpoint, you're giving Del Rio credibility. He wins the belt, and what I loved about Mysterio, he beat Mysterio straight up. There was no underhanded tricks, no interference. He beat Mysterio straight up. Now, what made him a heel, what shows that heel side of him, the bad guy, I don't know if he broke Mysterio's arm. I don't know how they played that one. He put Mysterio in that armbar, beat the crap out of him. Mysterio's out for months. Mysterio's one of the premier baby faces, especially when it comes to the younger fans. Guess what? You did a great job. Del Rio's a bad guy, but he defended the belt, so now people can't talk crap. I'm sorry. I can still talk shit about Cena because John Cena, I look at his matches and I get bored. And then, like I said, when he does finally defend his belt, he'll defend it 2 or 3 times successfully, and then the 4th time, he loses the belt. So, great job. You've had 4 title matches, and you've lost the belt already. Don't do the same with Del Rio. I don't have a problem with Alberto Del Rio. I think, he is a great in-ring presence, a great heel, great bad guy. I'm not a huge fan of him. I think he's kind of part of this development phase that the WWE has been in the last couple of years. And I say it like that because I feel whether it be to retirement, whether it be to injury, or whether it be, wrestlers passing away, a lot of guys have kind of, a lot of the big stars are gone now. So they had to really rebuild and kind of make stars again. Sheamus coming up, won the title. And it kind of goes back to that. Sheamus won the belt. You're trying to make him a bad guy, heel with the belt, great. You kind of need that. I didn't like that he won the belt so quickly from his debut. They want to have him as champion a year later. But after that, he won the belt twice, had maybe, 4 title matches, 5 title matches, really didn't do much with the belt, and then he's out of the main event picture. So what's the point of giving him the belt? You're giving Del Rio the belt now. The belt's on Del Rio. Have him defend the belt against Morrison that night. Cena and Punk are fighting for #1 contenders. Okay, let Del Rio defend the belt every week on Raw. Let him have a match where he's defending that title, so when it gets to Night of Champions, he's a champion. He's wrestled every night. He put his title on the line. He's a bad guy. He jumps his opponents afterwards. Use Ricardo Rodriguez in a few of those matches. Have Ricardo Rodriguez interfere. They're trying to bring back managers, I guess. What they're doing with Vicky and whatever, with Swagger and everything. Great. But bring importance back to championships. Who the hell knew that McGillicuddy and David Otunga were freaking tag team champions? I didn't freaking realize that because they're not showcased. And then when they finally showing them with the belt again, when it's not on Superstars, they lose it to Kofi and Evan Bourne. Okay, you had them win the belt, and actually, I saw it kind of cool. You're putting R-Truth and Miz together. Okay, put some guys together, tag teams, have other people push as the main event. But give titles importance again. Have R-Truth and Miz go after the tag belts. Have them go after Kofi and Evan Bourne. Have McGillicuddy and Otunga want their titles back. Make the championships important again. Because I think that's when wrestling is big. When you're making, the biggest prize that the WWE has, the biggest prize in the WWE. If you're making the biggest prize that you have kind of an undercard thing, what's the point of watching wrestling? What's the point of having these guys competing? That's my little rant on the championships. You can agree or disagree. Everybody has their opinion. But that's basically how I feel about that.